What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sip Off, where we have drinks and we talk all things basketball. I'm your host, Megan Price, and we got a jam-packed show for y'all tonight. The season is coming to an end for the WNBA. Playoffs are starting to look over the horizon. August 17th is when the playoffs start, and then we have a little bit of a summer league wrap-up for the NBA. Let me go ahead and get my co-host in here. We got Jahan Phillips.
What up?
What's up, Jahan?
What up?
How are you? How's your week?
Busy. I'm gonna go with frustrating again. It's been a little bit of a week. Been busier than normal. Later getting out, but we here. It's Sip Off Thursday. No place I'd rather be. Yours?
It's been pretty good. Busy as well. It's been so hot here in Texas. Triple digits every single freaking day. I guess we moved a little bit closer to the sun, apparently.
Yeah, y'all like seeing it, huh?
It's not fun. It's been like 108, 106. Not fun.
Not fun. Heck no.
Not at all. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get our guests in here. We've got Will Vogel, Lily Light. What's up, Will?
What's up, guys? How are y'all doing?
What's going on?
We're doing really well. How are you?
Just came back from Boston for vacation. It was good. It was a good time to have a few days off of work, but ready to go back into the swing of things. And then in maybe, let's see, a month and like 10 days, I'm going to Europe.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Another wedding, is that right?
Boston wasn't a wedding. Europe is my brother's
okay.
part one. Yeah, my brother's part one, which is just family. And then next April is everyone.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get our next guest in here. We got Joseph Jenkins. What's up, Joseph?
What's going on? How you doing?
Good.
Doing really well.
Good.
How are you?
Hot. This heat wave, like you had said, is just it's
Ooh.
insane.
It's hot
Yeah.
here too.
Insane.
The humidity's terrible in North Carolina.
I just think for the people that it's just insane out here, bro.
All right. Well, what's everybody drinking tonight?
The patent.
Willow Light. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably change it up eventually.
Some Crown Royal and Coke.
Nice. That's good
Justin,
stuff.
you got that water?
Huh?
Apple juice
Justin, you got that water?
and apple juice.
An apple.
Nice. Apple juice is classic.
Put some Hennessy in it. You'll like it.
Ooh, that does sound good.
Hennessy and apple juice is really good.
That's a nice.
I got a little bit.
What you drinking?
A little bit of Fireball.
Love Fireball.
Ugh.
I got some wines.
Nice. What kind of wine?
It is a red blend. Sinner or something. I can't remember. Hold on. I'll get the bottle. Hold on.
Or something.
Oh, man. There's like hundreds of types of wine.
It says Prayers of Sinners.
Oh, nice.
This
Nice.
is like a $12 bottle. It ain't nothing special.
A wine's a nice touch after a day like today.
It's been a tough day for you?
Well, I'm just saying in general, like for like.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's do a shot.
All right.
Oh. Of course, my coaster goes flying.
Say less.
Stupid desk.
All right. Cheers in the bucket.
Man, I needed that.
You needed that.
I did. I'm sorry. I'm half awake, but it's all good.
All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the players of the week. We actually have two this week. We kind of just went along with what the WNBA does. They announce players of the week every single week. They do one from each conference. This week, out of the West, we got Skylar Diggins-Smith, and out of the East, we got one of my favorite players and Joseph's favorite player, Elena Deladon.
I love her too, man. She awesome.
Man, I love me some Deladon.
Yes.
So super excited to cover both these ladies. Will, who do you want to talk about first?
I'll go with Skylar Diggins Smith.
Okay.
I've been a fan of both these ladies since their college days. Skylar Diggins, what more can you say? She killed it at Notre Dame. She's killing it at the WNBA level. Her WNBA career spans from 2013 to now, so I'll go by point, like always. Points, assists, rebounds. So 2013, 8.3, 3.8, 1.9. 2014, 20.1, 5.0, 2.5. 2015, a little dip, 17.8, 5.0, 2.7. 16, 13.1, 3.4, 1.9. 17, 18.5, 5.8, 3.5. 18, 17.9, 6.2, 3.3. 2020, 17.7, 4.2, 3.3. 2021, 17.7, 5.3, 3.2. As you can see, she went up from a lot. She's had some dips in her career, but she ever since her rookie year, she's maintained the higher team numbers, which is good for a scorer like her. Like I said, she's been doing this her whole life. I paid close attention to her really in college, and I have paid attention to her WNBA career as well. And she's one of those players who's, it may not be like the Breanna Stewarts, the Asia Wilsons, the Kelsey Plums, the Sue Birds, but she is the Candace Parkers, but she is definitely one of the best players in the WNBA for sure, and has an immense amount of talent. And like I said, huge fan of hers.
You brought up her. You said you've been watching her since college, and so for those of y'all that didn't know her, one, she's a 5'9" guard. She went to college at Notre Dame, so she's a part of that McGraw dynasty over there. We know there is a ton of women in the league that have come out of that Notre Dame program, and generally every single one of them is an excellent, scrappy defensive player. So, well, Arike's working on it, but she's a great shooter. So,
Yeah, Enrique's good.
she does play defense now, but she's not known for her defense. But Joseph, what do you got on Skylar?
So I've been following Skylar since Notre Dame as well. And they had unfortunately came across Gina Auriemma. Otherwise, she would have probably had a national title with that mother.
Come on, man. Don't say that.
No, they had some. Skylar.
No, I agree.
Skylar has always been a very, very, very good point guard. She's like, it's almost like interesting to see the WNBA have tiers of players who they are and players who they kind of most like. She's maybe a tier two behind, but similar style to Maya Moore. You know, she has the ability to hit clutch baskets when you need them. She's great on the dribble. And this year, she's really been this key player for the Phoenix Mercury and how they basically are trying to vie for a playoff spot. You know, she's had some moments where she may have had, up and downs for this year, but she's really putting it together and really trying to make a big push so they can get in there and try to compete for a title.
I agree.
And Della Dawn, that's my girl. You know what I mean? That's my baby. And
wait, I forgot to bring up Della Dawn. I'll just wait.
Yeah, no, we hadn't got to Della Dawn yet.
My bad. Go ahead. Yeah, my
bad.
bad.
This week for Skylar, though, the reason she got Player of the Week is because she's been averaging 23.3 points. What impressed me the most is that she was averaging 7.7 assists and then 5.7 rebounds. So, you're talking about somebody who's 5'9", that's averaging almost 6 rebounds a game. On top of, she's definitely has excellent court vision. She's an excellent guard. I'm a huge fan of hers. I think she has excellent handles. And she never, she leaves it all on the court. You never absolutely doubt that did she give it her all. Like, you can see it all over her, like every single game, even when, in the losses, she gave it everything that she had. So that's what I like out of Skylar the most. And she's a gold medalist. This past summer was the first time that she had ever made Team USA. So, just stacking on the accolades. John, what do you got on Skylar?
All right, so I love Skylar. Scholar
We
was
know.
Scholar was the first person I ever tweeted, trying to get a follow, anything. So to see where she is, to not allow the argument with the GOAT to derail her season,
Right.
to be hearing the trade block rumors, all of this to show that she is the most or the least expendable person on the Phoenix Mercury as it stands right now. It's GOAT's team. We all know that.
For sure.
But Skylar Diggins Smith is the best
She
player
is
on
number
the
4
Mercury.
on the scoring list this
Yeah.
season, though.
And she's the
So,
best
like,
player on the Mercury right now.
right.
I love GOAT. Everybody knows I love GOAT. But Skylar has been far and away the best player this season. And that's even adding Tina Charles to the team. It's even having GOAT doing what she did. Sophie putting up phenomenal numbers last week. I mean, consistently, Skylar's been the best player this season. But her stat line that impressed me most this week was the 2.3 steals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you said the assists and the rebounds impressed you most, but the steals
They
definitely
did.
impressed me most because it's showing she's getting it done on the defensive side.
Right.
I was just definitely enamored with that. So, you know, hats off to her and the game that she's been putting up. And she took that slight from her coach real personal, and that's been
You know,
showing the All-Star game slight. She
and
took
I
that.
know there was some of y'all that didn't agree with her, and I felt like she was completely within her realm to say how she felt because no, the All Star game wasn't the same without DT. But when you're in a leadership role such as head coach, you got to be a little more diplomatic than that, and you got to include those that are working hard for you. And she's up there every single game, busting her ass for your rookie season as a coach, by Kim.
Every single week. And
Yeah,
the Mercury as a whole have had a rough season. Again, with everything swirling around Brittany Griner, free BG, always.
right.
It's been a rough season. Um, but she's been a bright spot in a rough season for sure.
All right, so let's slide over to Elena. I just want to preface this by saying that one, she's probably the greatest shooter we've ever seen, female shooter that we've ever seen. She has had a career full of injuries, unfortunately. And, you know, we got a friend, Chris Haas, who thinks that she would have been the GOAT had she not been injured. And while I don't agree with the sentiment, I do agree with the intent. Like, I think she could have been right under the GOAT. I think that she's amazing. That season when she got her MVP 2019, also the season that she won her championship, she did so with 2 herniated discs. And since then, you know, she's had a couple of back surgeries. On top of when she was in high school, she contracted Lyme disease. And so she has to deal with residual effects from Lyme disease the rest of her life. So to be able to do that, like she's the only woman in the 50, 40, 90 club, like to be able to do that and to battle against not only the injuries but the disease that you have, to me that just shows a lot of heart. And every single time that I've talked to Alina, like she's really humble, she's really sweet, she takes her time with the media and her fans. And
Doesn't she do something for her sister? Doesn't her sister have
yeah,
something?
her sister, I think it's a younger sister because she had a full ride to Yukon and she went for the first month, ended up going home, took a semester off, and went to Delaware, which is where she's from. And that's because she has a sister that has extreme cerebral palsy. And she's really, really close with her. And so she needed to be at home with her family. And might be part of the reason that she plays in Washington now, to be honest.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
we knew her when she first came in the league. We knew her. And that season where she had the 50, 40, 90 was with the Chicago Sky. So, like, we knew her with Chicago. But I think that whenever she was able to move to Washington, you could see her happy. And this season, she's healthy. Like, that's the main thing. Like, I really feel like the league is a better place when Della Don's on the court.
Yeah, I agree 100% with all that you said, Megan. She's on a great team with like Natasha Cloud and a bunch of other great
Right.
females. And I'm going to do the same thing like I did Skylar Diggins Smith. I'm going to do points and then rebounds. So her career also started in 2013. She didn't play in 2020. She won the MVP in 2015 and 19. So points, rebounds. First year, 18.1, 5.6, 17.9, 4.0, 23.4, 8.4. That was an MVP year. 16, 21.5, 7.0. 17, 19.7, 6.8. 18, 20.7, 7.2. 19, 19.5, 8.3. Right now, 13.7, 4.3. So like Skylar Dane Smith, she's had some more. She's had up and downs, but she's in the higher teens of scoring, which is always great for a great player like Elena Deladon is and should be putting up those numbers. And like you alluded to, she went to Delaware. I also followed her in college really heavily and enjoyed watching her play in college. I wish she could have went to UConn, but I fully understand what she did for her sister. And honestly, if I was a college basketball player who had a sibling who had that, I would definitely do the same thing. And you know what? She's not only a great player, like you said, she's also a great human being in general.
Right. There's a lot of people that, once they kind of reach the height of their sport or their craft, like they're not necessarily like attainable for the average person to be able to talk to. And Elena is not one of
It's so hard. Oh yeah, like some guys are going too popular for you.
Well, I don't want to take it that far, but there are a few out there that aren't always the easiest to talk to, and definitely as media, like she's one that she's not going to give you a cookie cutter answer. She's not going to just push past your question and just kind of, yeah, we won, blah blah blah. Like no, she's going to go in depth of why and how, and being media, I appreciated that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Joseph, you can hear me. I'm done.
It always makes me smile when y'all talk about somebody on my team in such high praise.
Well, we need to do
Megan,
Sue Bird soon, so
yeah,
go ahead, Joseph.
Megan, that was a wonderful introduction and full of amazing praises for our girl. I appreciate you, Will, as well. I mean, what more can be said? She is she's a great leader. She's humble. She's, doing what is expected. The article came out on ESPN. She's saying she's healthy. She's saying there might still be some minutes restrictions on certain nights, like if we may have been blown out or so to speak, but she's pretty much good to go. That's why they were kind of resting her early in the season. She dropped 21 and to beat the Lynx earlier, I think on Sunday. She just dropped 25 tonight to beat the Liberty. And so now sitting at 17-11, the Mystics are trying to come together, and Elena Deladon is the main reason why. She starts with her and it ends with her, and every teammate rally around her, and she's the type of person that she could drop 25 points, as y'all said, but she'll spend time talking about what other players have done well and that contribute to what the team does. And that, if you look at any type of player that really is a leader of a great team or has a great career, majority of them have that same thinking.
And I really like what she's had to say about y'all's rookie too. Like she's just real supportive and really positive. But okay, so the stats that she put up last week in order to be player of the week, she averaged 22 points, 3.3 assists, and then 8 rebounds. So she's definitely been putting up great numbers. We kind of expect this as far as point wise out of her, but I think that her rebounds, she's really stepped it up as well. And to me, that says, you're playing both sides of the court. And for me, as you get older, because she's 32 and she's had some injury struggles, like that's usually where you lose a step. When you're a great shooter, you're not going to forget how to shoot. Del Curry could be out there and outshoot anybody right now. Because you're not going to lose your shot. It doesn't matter how old you are. Whereas your defense and your hustle, that's where you're going to lose a step. So for her to be doing 8 boards, that impressed me a lot.
Oh, bring it on, Jahan. Give us some praise to my girl.
Elena. This is her first Player of the Week since that 2019 MVP season.
Oh.
So I thought that was noteworthy. Also, the Mystics went 2-1 in this week that she was named Player of the Week. The one loss being to the Phoenix Mercury. Just want to throw that out there. Just want to put that out there. But they won today, as Joseph stated earlier, beat the Liberty. But in the games last week, Elena shot 50% from 3, and she also shot 50% overall, or above 50% overall. She shot 90% from the free throw line in those games. So staying true to the 50-40-90 that she is and has been throughout her career. Just phenomenal shooting. Like Megan stated too, the rebound side is impressive. But just where she has the Mystics currently, the third currently in the East, trying to get a top 3 overall seed in the league right now, fighting for that. So it's been fun to watch. I would say if you're a Mystics fan, it's definitely fun to watch. But it should be exciting. They're definitely going to challenge for a spot, and definitely contender. They're definitely a contender, and definitely a sleeper pick. I feel like they don't get as much praise as necessarily a Sky or a Las Vegas Aces. They don't even get as much as the Seattle Storm, but they are quietly doing whatever it takes right now. 17 wins is nothing to hang your hat on, nothing to be down about. Definitely got something brewing right there. Definitely going to be a tough out. So, and she's definitely a catalyst.
So moving over to the playoffs, like we're not that far away from the playoffs starting, and they changed the playoff format this year. So it's exactly like the NBA's first round, except for, minus the play-in tournament. So, 1 seed plays the 8 seed, 2 seed plays the 7 seed, and so on. In the WNBA, they don't do East versus West. They do the top 8 teams, period. And so currently right now, you got Chicago at number 1. They are 20-6, and they're the only team that has clinched. Number 2 is Las Vegas. They're 18-8. Number 3 is Connecticut, and they are 17-9. Number 4 is Seattle, and they are 17-10. Number 3 is Washington, and they are 17-11. So Washington is right there, like right on the heels of Seattle. At number 6, you have Los Angeles, who beat ATL today and was able to move up 1. So ATL moved down to number 7. You got Dallas at number 8, who is 11-14. Phoenix not too far behind, who is 11-16. And then the last three teams, you have Minnesota, New York, and Indiana, which basically those teams don't have a hope of making the playoffs. So let's talk about the first.
Wait, who don't have a hope?
I said Minnesota, New York, and Indiana.
Okay, yeah.
Because even though Phoenix is at number 9, they have a very similar record to the Dallas, so it's not determined yet.
Yeah.
He made sure that clarification.
Okay, so if the playoffs started today, first round Chicago would play Dallas, second round Las Vegas would play Atlanta, and then Connecticut would play LA, and then Seattle and Washington would play each other.
So, Joseph,
right.
Let's go.
So let's talk about those matchups a little bit.
I'll go real quick. Is first round 7 games or 5? I forget.
3.
Or is it 3? If we play Washington, it's going 3. As a Storm fan, it's going 3. I think both of our teams are both young or hungry because, as Joseph has alluded to, and all of us have alluded to, Washington has Natasha Cloud, Elena Delle Donne, a bunch of other great women. Well, we're playing for S2E to hopefully get the MVP, and it's Sue Bird's last year, so we want to try and go ring hunting for her last year. But I definitely see if we play Washington, it's not going to be easy. We're going 3 games.
So he gave the Seattle side. I'll be happy to give the Washington side. You know, it's awesome. I love how that worked itself out. I mean, you got Sue Bird versus Natasha Cloud, and they're both averaging over 6 and 7 assists a game. Just excellent distributors. Both of them can hit the nice clutch basket when need to. Just make the right decision. And then you got the heavyweight Della Dom versus Breonna Stewart. Forward versus forward, similar player versus similar player. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better matchup. It definitely will go 3 because neither team is the type of team that's going to drop 2 games in a series that's a do or die essentially pretty much every game. I like our chances. I think it will require to see that talented young rookie, Shakira Austin, step up because, you know, she can be a good piece to counter off what Easy McBagor does for the Seattle Storm on certain nights, you know, with the rebounding and at the putbacks and getting like double-doubles. I'm excited. I honestly think, but I think we can try to get closer to that 3 seed because Connecticut doesn't exactly stream the same strength that they did as much as I was praising them early this season. You know, 2 games from them, 1 game from the Seattle Storm. It's not over with yet, but if we face the Seattle Storm, I actually would think I'll take us 2 games to 1.
Okay, so y'all are sitting at, y'all have played 28 games. There's 36 games total this season. So there's 8 games left for y'all to play. So like you said, it's not over yet. From Connecticut, Seattle, and Washington, all very similar records. And even Las Vegas. But I think, to me, Las Vegas and Chicago, they're on a different level right now. And I mean, it might possibly be a crash course for us to see Chicago and Las Vegas playing each other in the finals, which we'll actually see a preview of that in the Commissioner's Cup, but we'll get to that in a second.
I'm sorry if you guys heard me. My bad.
No, you're fine.
Oh, good.
No worries.
Okay, sorry.
Seattle and Washington, that first matchup right there, that's really interesting to me. I do feel like Washington is somewhat of a sleeper team, like what Jahan said. I think they have the ability to – I wish they were matched up with like Connecticut or something like that because I feel like they could beat Connecticut in 3 games. But going up against Seattle, I think that's probably going to be the best series of the first round right there. I mean, in typical fashion of the playoffs like that, like the 5 or the 4 and 5 seed playing each other in the NBA is usually one of the best series of the first round. So I'm going to go Seattle, but I wish Washington could do it. But I think, you know, it's Sue's last year, and they're gonna have another push, a surge once the playoffs come. So as much as I would love to see Della Dawn do that, I don't know. I feel like it's Seattle.
I thought she was thinking about retiring.
I personally feel like we see Candace play at least 2 more seasons.
I agree 100%. I don't think she retires.
Her commentating career is taking off, and she has other things going on. Like, obviously, we know she won't be a part of Team USA. Them days are over. But she did go over to Tokyo, and she covered them. So as an analyst, so I think that her life is changing and she's moving towards retirement, but I think we see about 2 more seasons. Whether they win or not, I think we see 2 more seasons out of Candace.
I agree 100%. I think if she retires, it's too soon.
But she might be also molding her daughter into similar, you know, stuff because her daughter is 13 or 12.
Definitely. John, what do you got on the Seattle versus Washington matchup?
Seattle versus Washington. Very interesting. I believe Seattle takes the matchup.
Let's go. I'm sorry, Joseph. I love you, though.
I think despite Washington being a sleeper, despite Washington having arguably the best player on the court, Seattle is on a do it for Sue Bird wave right now. And they have a lot of talent, period, throughout. It's so much talent on the Seattle Storm team. It's going to be hard to contend with on a series basis. It's going to be hard to contend with, period. S2E is MVP right now, or MVP caliber. Jewel Lloyd looks great. You add a
Even
Tina
Tina,
Charles.
I think Tina, because she didn't want to be the main. She didn't want to be the main person. I think that was
Yeah,
her problem in Phoenix. Like, they didn't expect too much out of her. I think it
right.
worked out that way. And so over there,
But
she could
she
put
was
up 15.
averaging 17 a game in Phoenix. Like you bringing a 17 a game score
Right.
to Seattle, and it's like pick your poison on any given night. It's like pick your poison because all
Right.
of them are capable of doing you in. So it's too much. I feel like Washington. Wow, like I say, Washington definite sleeper. If they get through this series right here, they're battle tested. I think they're capable of knocking off anyone if they can knock off a Seattle Storm. But I definitely got to go with Seattle. I'm gonna go with Seattle in 2-1, 2-1 series.
Same.
I
Yes,
think
Alan, we drinking.
we drinking.
We drinking on the sip it sipping.
Right. Yeah. That's
I
why
ain't
it's called the
drinking.
tip off. It's a play on the tip off.
I ain't drinking after all y'all going against my team.
I'm sorry, but I mean, I want Washington to beat
Oh, no,
them, honestly.
I'm
And I'm
just
sorry, Will.
I'm
I know
just
that's your
messing.
team. I want
just messing
Washington
with
to
you,
win, but they doing it for Snoop.
I'm
Okay,
just
so the next matchup we got LA will be placing Connecticut. So Will, talk to me about that matchup.
I think Connecticut's too tough.
Mm.
I think Connecticut. I need to look at Connecticut's roster again. Pardon me, guys.
No, you're fine. It's Jonquel Jones, DeWanna Bonner, and
The
Dejounte
reigning
Carrington.
defending MVP, John Quell Jones.
And then
Alyssa Thomas.
Courtney Williams is on that squad. And Dejounte, she put up some big
And
numbers
isn't one of
last
the
week.
Abumake sisters, or both are on LA?
Both
Yes,
of them are
both
LA.
both of
Yeah,
them are in LA.
I just think that LA's going through a rough period this year. I've got a sweep
Ooh,
of
2-0.
Of
Okay,
LA.
that's
LA
bold.
getting swept.
That's bold. I like it. I like it because I don't like LA.
yeah. LA is tough.
Kick them in the mouth.
LA is very, very shaky this year.
That's the president and the VP of the Players Association you're talking about there. All right. I'm gonna drink to that one. What you got, Joseph?
I think Connecticut's too tough. Connecticut is one of the best defensive teams in the game, and they have so many different weapons. Much like we just discussed about Seattle, the reigning MVP. I think she's a two-time MVP. Jonquel.
One
She's
time.
like
One time.
So she's almost like she's Aja Wilson, like on the East Coast with them. She typically averages close to a double-double. And then I will give Alyssa. Alyssa doesn't have to score to impact the game because she's averaging close to like 7 assists.
Oh yeah, Alyssa's on there too. I forgot about her.
And she's kind of been, because she's more of like the older one because she's been around the longest, and so she's kind of just likes to let them get involved. But they have a really, really good team. I think the Sparks have good players, but they've been through they're still figuring themselves out because they're not even with the coach that they came in expecting to have. So even though
that's a positive for them because he's actually done pretty well with them, but their front court has been incredibly injured.
That's true as well. And they're calling up Christy Tolliver from someone who's supposed to be chilling.
Right, because they didn't have a guard. They didn't have a guard, which I mean, maybe hindsight's 2020. Maybe they shouldn't have cut Tia Cooper, but they had Chindy Carter. A couple other ones. And they've been injured majority of the season. And so, like you said, they called up Christy Tolliver, who is still a capable shooter.
She is, but we're talking about, and I love my girl, but she was on she was on the national championship squad in 2002. My girl wants to probably be coaching now.
And can I say,
she was coaching. They called her up.
Yeah. And I'll say one more thing real quick, if you don't mind, Joseph. Which Liz Cambage is going to show up?
Yes. Oh, yeah. None of us have been talking about Liz. Okay, so against Dallas, she loves to hang 24 points, all kinds of boards on us. But against these other teams, she's not showing up the same way. So that inconsistent Liz that we've known probably the entirety of her career, is still who she's been this season as well.
Who is Alan Slay?
Self. Actually, he runs a group, NBA. Hold on, let me look. And he is actually a media person. He's a sports journalist from Chicago.
Nice.
Oh, all right, nice.
NBA Life, that's his group. It's a
I feel
pretty big
bad
group.
because I thought that was Jay's like alternate profile.
No. He's
bad.
media. He's media.
Nice.
He's on TV.
I'm sorry, Alan. My bad, man. Let me tell you.
No, and so he's a big supporter of Chicago, obviously. So, all right, this matchup for me, I agree. I think Connecticut is too much for LA, and I think the injuries just play a factor in that. As much as I don't really like to praise LA, I think that they look improved getting rid of Derek Fisher. I think they look improved this season. Like last season, hey Sam.
Hi, Sam.
This season, she a mess. Like they look pretty good. Moving into number 6. Last season they didn't make the playoffs. Like they look much improved this season. Now there's a big drop off between the 5 and 6 seeds. So Washington is 17-11 and LA is 12-14. So I mean there's quite a bit of a drop off right there as far as winning percentage wise. Connecticut is tough. And as we know about their coach, he's incredibly tough and mouthy and doesn't mind getting fined. So I think that we're going to see a scrappy series. But I give LA one game. I give them one game, so 2-1. I think that just the way that NECA has been balling, and then include her sister Chanae in that as well, because it seems like every time she walks on the court, just like Candace, she may not put up the most points, but she getting double digits in the boards. So I feel like the two of them together, as long as they're healthy, and if the right list shows up, I think they get one game.
Chanae killed my prop one day.
You know.
Jeez.
John, what do you got?
I'm going with the upset special. I got Sparks winning the series 2-1.
So
Sparks,
Lone Wolf, you got to howl after that one, bro.
Anyway, I feel like the Sparks are getting hot at the right time. Connecticut is a solid team, but what the Agumake sisters have been able to do here lately, like NECA just dropped 35 on her own the other night. Okay. And then today they combined for 35. And like they're piecing it together. They're getting everybody's production at the same time. They're tough out. Coach? They're tough out. They're tough out. I said that. I keep saying that about Washington. Tough outs. But I feel like they're gonna get a Connecticut team that's fought hard and really battled this year, and they're gonna shock the world. I'm going Sparks 2-1.
Okay. And so their interim coach is Fred Williams, and I think at the end of the season you got to sign that man to an extension. Give him a real deal. He deserves a team. Now, as far as GM wise, because Derek Fisher was the GM as well, I don't think rush and give Fred the GM position. I think you bring somebody else in for that. Lisa, you're a part owner. Come in and manage this team. We know you're a big 3 coach, but come in and fix your team, girl. Okay, so next matchup.
The team that you have right?
I mean, she's part owner. So come in, be the general manager for a couple of years, get it right, girl.
And you might bring
so the next.
Also, one more thing.
They love Lisa Leslie.
They love Lisa.
Candace back to LA for us all said and done.
No, it's not happening.
Listen, Nostradamus.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so the next matchup will be the 2 versus the 7 seed. So right now that would be Las Vegas versus ATL. These last 2 series, we know how it's going. Will, go ahead.
Atlanta's good. They got Ryan Howard, the rookie, and stuff, but
rookie of the
year favorite. But Vegas got Plum and Asia and a bunch of other great players on that team, but
Derek Hamby.
Exactly.
Great
So
coaching, great coaching.
I got it.
Point guard.
The best coach in the W.
Allegedly.
I got a sweep.
Right.
I got a sweep 2-0.
2-0. Okay, Joseph.
Vegas 1-0. No shade. I don't think it's going to be close. Not saying anything about Atlanta. It's just they get so bottled up and frustrated. Even though they had a great win this past weekend again.
Like they have the ability to beat Vegas, obviously, but I think Vegas just wasn't worried about them.
Yeah, I think Vegas is kind of coasting it out a little bit right now because they know they're locked in that Commissioner's
That's
Cup.
literally the words that Jahan used the other day, that they would just coast and they ain't worried about ATL.
I mean, no shade, cool, but they really aren't. I think they're sitting there. They know that they have like only can win. They can win like maybe like 3 games, and they know they're solidified in that 2 seed. You know, they're chilling. But I think at the end of the day, I just think the Aces are just too much. There's just too much to deal with. Whether Kelsey goes off, or Jackie goes off, or Chelsea goes off, the Erica comes in with doubles every now and then. Aja being Aja, just when you think Aja's being neutralized, she comes in, busts 25 and like 10. Yeah, I got the Aces in 2.
Aces in 2. Same. I think it's just, it's understood. ATL, like, look, they got the number 1 pick. They got the rookie of the year. Like, she's far and away rookie of the year, even though I feel like Shakira Austin is the next one. But obviously Ryan Howard came in and had immediate impact. And I felt like the way that they blew up their roster this past summer or past fall, they had to cut Courtney Williams, and that's a tough piece to lose. Like, she was the second highest scorer in last year's All-Star game. Like, she's quick. She's an excellent scorer. That was a tough loss, but they had their reasons on why they cut her. And it was outside of the team. It wasn't what was happening on the court. It was some stuff that happened outside of that they had to cut her for. And then, they just really blew up their entire roster. And I just felt like that they weren't going to be any good whatsoever. And I was wrong. They were much better than I anticipated. So, congratulations to them making the playoffs, because I didn't expect it. But they're not beating the Aces, not once in the playoffs.
What have I always said, y'all, about the Aces?
Uh-oh.
F the Aces.
F the Aces. We're gonna keep it PG right now. We're gonna keep it PG. But Aces have too much firepower, man. It's ridiculous. They got way too much firepower. Anybody can beat you on a given night. They have 2 of what we think is a 3-horse race MVP candidates. The All-Star Game MVP resides in Vegas. Arguably the best coach in the league resides in Vegas. The leading 3-point shooter, leading rebounder in the league, essential.
I'm not, ma'am. I'm not.
Double in Asia Wilson. Come on, man. I don't sound faded. Come on. Stall me out, Debo. But just every night, Aces. I feel like it's been Aces and everybody else. They've kind of slowed that down since that statement was made. When that statement was made, they had 2 losses. They now have 8 losses. But they just, to me, it's the Aces world, and we just living in it right now.
Except for Chicago.
The Sky looked good. No, the Sky looked good. I was gonna give them that praise. The Sky looked good, but at the same time, like, I feel like the
defending
Aces,
champion Sky.
Yeah, but I feel like the Aces are doing this, like, we kind of play down to the competition right now. I feel like it's a we could really dog y'all if we want to, but it's kind of depending on
like a couple of rounds in the NCAA tournament with South Carolina. I know there were a couple of questions.
And it's like
they still won.
Depending on who the competition is, like, they're either up for that game or they're not. Like, because at that point when they played the Sky, and ever since this Sky game, they've kind of looked bad. Ever since they were up, like, it was like what 28 on the Sky,
Mhm.
and they got walked down by the Sky. They've looked bad since that point. However, and bad for them is losing games. When I say bad, I'm not saying like they look bad like overall. I'm saying bad for them is losses, period. But since that point in time when they got walked down by the Chicago Sky, they've looked bad. I expect this game on Tuesday night. Tuesday night, right? Commissioner's Cup is on
Commissioner's
Tuesday
Cup
night.
26. Yeah.
Yeah. I expect them to dog walk Chicago Sky. I think
Wait, hold on. You took Chicago in the bet.
I took Chicago in the bet. I did, but I think
Okay.
the Aces are about to really show us what time it is, what these playoffs are about to look like. I listen for my sake. I hope Chicago wins this. I
Excuse
took
me.
Chicago. I took Chicago, so I'm
Cheers
hoping
to that.
Chicago proves me wrong. However, I'm expecting the Aces to dog walk Chicago in this Commissioner's Cup matchup.
Ooh.
Because of how that loss went, where they
Mhm.
were up what? Because they lost and they were up what?
Because they got walked down from 28. So I'm expecting them to come out and absolutely destroy Chicago on Tuesday.
Okay. All right. And so then the last round, Chicago versus Dallas. Chicago sweeps. And now don't get me wrong, I'm Dallas media. I love them. I'm a huge Enrique fan. Alicia Gray, my favorite player in the league. We don't have nothing for Chicago. In fact, we play
I
them
agree.
tomorrow. We play them tomorrow, and we don't have nothing for them. Go ahead, Will.
I'll make it
That's
fast. Sweep Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same. Let's be realistic. All right, Joseph. You get
Well,
your
I
ear
think
cleaned out.
honestly, Jahan kind of brought something I was going to say full circle. Since that 28-point comeback, that changed the trajectory of two teams. Las Vegas kind of started to slow down. Chicago started to take off. And I think Chicago saw in themselves, like, you know what? We can hang with Vegas because I think for the beginning of the part of the year, them themselves, they may never admit it, but I think they kind of fell into the idea that it is the Vegas world and we're just living in it. But when they beat them, they're like, you know what? It's not their world. And I think as they're playing right now, they are the favorites, in my opinion, to win it all because I think we'll see against the Aces coming up a much closer game than I actually have from what Jahan's saying, and I think they're going to win it all. I think they're going to beat them 2-0 this year, and I think what's going to happen in the playoffs is it's a sweep. I think they're preparing to be a representative in the WNBA finals. I got them 2-0. And I got them. No shade, but it's just
No. It is what it is. You know what? We're having a really, to me, I say an interesting season because we can beat teams like we beat Washington before.
right.
We beat Connecticut before. We beat Connecticut last Monday, in kind of a dominant fashion. But then we can't beat ATL whatsoever. Like they swept us this season.
ATL, ANTAGA, that's what I say.
And then the Mercury beat us a couple of times. Like there's teams that we're losing to that we shouldn't lose to, but then we can turn around and we can win a few games, against some really strong teams. So I don't know. It's inconsistency, and we don't have nothing for Chicago. We don't have nothing for them. So I ain't mad at y'all saying that we get.
They're a
well coached. That's what it is.
team. Chicago,
they are very well coached team. And don't you know James Wade is our coach's protege? So what the hell is going on?
Give them time.
Okay,
They got more talent.
Sign up for
they do, but they do.
And they got more older talent. They got more veteran talent. Like
right.
I don't
Vanderquiggs
I won't say it's more talent. They have more veteran talent. Like
right.
Vanderquiggs are talented.
Mm-hmm.
Candace Parker's talented.
But they got
Kalia's talented.
But I put Kalia and Enrique probably on the same tier of players.
Right, but at the same time, if you put your best player Enrique on the same tier as Kalia, and then you have 3 more horses,
right,
in Chicago,
you're right.
Like,
and then they got Emma too. I mean, and she's a champion. So.
And Quigley. And Quig.
Well, that's Vanderquiggs.
Vanderquiggs, like it's too much. They have too much firepower for a young up and coming Dallas team. Like
The thing that
Dallas is there. They're on the doorstep. They're doing things right. Um, Biggie Johnson's doing things right. Like, look, like we're building. We're building something here. Like they gotta figure out how to keep your girl happy. Lucy Gray. Gotta keep her
Yeah, because
happy.
okay, they signed her to. She was a free agent. They signed her for one more year, and so next season she's a free agent again. And that's what I'm most nervous about is that we lose Lish, and she was obviously this season when she was not on the court, we were losing, and
Right.
so and we were losing by about 10 to 13 points, and that's about what she averages. So she's that difference maker.
And who was the one that was tweeting like about playing time? Who was that?
Isabel Harrison.
Okay. So that was
Is
a
it? But no,
thing.
and okay, that's my thing too. Okay, so whenever the same week that Skylar was having drama with Nygaard, Izzy was having drama with Vicky Johnson. And she was talking about there was a fan that tagged her and they were like, why is Izzy not on the court? And Izzy responded and she was like, when you find out, let me know. And, I don't disagree because we've seen Isabel Harrison in the AU this in the off season, and she was Defensive Player of the Year, and she was a champion of the AU. So to me, they look better when Izzy's on the court too. So I don't know. The rotations ain't right. There's something going on there in Dallas. So yes, we need some more talent,
So
but
you're dealing with your locker room ain't cohesive, and so
right.
that's a problem. And then you're playing a world champs. Like, come on, like you gotta be all hands on deck, period, before you even play the champs.
Say, Mike, we know.
When
But
a team,
In two, it's Sky in two because we said y'all gonna sweep.
that man Mike Hughes probably faded right now because it's
but,
God doing all right, But at the same time, like, listen, they don't want to see these aces for real.
but when you see a team like when Megan describes where you beat two good teams but then lose to the bad teams, that just screams the talent's there, just not consistency. That's it. And gelling.
Yeah, no, and I think locker room drama is part of that. Like, I think that is a good point. All right, so let's move over real quick because Jahan already gave us his Commissioner Cup preview real quick. What do y'all anticipate in the Commissioner's Cup, which is the 26th, Sky versus Aces? Will, what do you expect?
I think it's going to be a really good game. You got good players on each team. You got good coaches on each team, but I got Aces in a really close game. Single digits.
I got Sky by 6 because I think they're going to show. I think they know what's coming. I think they see. But they're a very well coached team, very prepared, and very well ready to embrace this challenge. And I think it's going to be a good game. But Aces losing by 6 to the Sky.
I'm going to go with the same direction that Jahan went with and say that Aces are going to be on a tear about losing 28-point lead to Chicago in that game. Like, I think they're going to come in, they're going to be dominant. Now, I don't think that I don't think Chicago's going to get dog walked. I don't think that's possible right now. I don't think it's possible. Like, they're too good. And the reason that I say that Chicago's so good because you're not seeing players have 30-point games. You're seeing 5 players have 15 and up point games. So they're distributing the ball really well. Everybody's eating. You're going to have somebody that has 20 to 22 points, and then the rest, everybody's going to have like 13 to 17 points right there. So it's consistent. It's teamwork. So I don't feel like there's any way that Chicago is going to lose by get dog walked. But I'm going to say 8 points. Aces on top. And I'm going to go ahead and say KP probably has a huge game, and Point God has double digits assists.
Drake Jr. didn't say dog walk. He said dog walk. Okay, he put an exclamation point on that.
Drake Jr.
Can I make my prediction?
Go ahead.
Vegas 80, Chicago 68.
Okay.
12-point game, which is
I got an 8-point difference.
I got a 5-point game. I got 5-point game.
And I think it's going to be a higher scoring game than that, actually, just because of the firepower that Vegas has. So I'm going to go like 85-77.
Oh, predictions. Awesome.
They about to dog walk them.
I'll go.
Dog
They not. They
walk.
I'll
not.
go 86.
They
86.
Walk it down.
Actually,
Walk
no.
them
We got the
down.
same result, even though you took
Down.
Chicago in the bid.
No, I'll go low.
Okay,
I'll
so
go
last topic
77,
real quick.
71.
77-71. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, so last topic, we're going to talk about the Summer League. Obviously, Portland. Portland Trailblazers. They got a championship ring. I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
Okay. Portland. There you go. And then who was your standout performer in the summer?
Well, what you said, what we expect of Portland, right, this year?
Yeah. Well, okay, so they won. Is it going to translate to NBA season success?
I think
no.
at best, they are a play-in tournament team. Sure, they got Lillard, Hart, Peyton II, Simon, Simmons, Anthony Simmons, but I still say play-in team at best because they're young. But there's been a lot of great guys who've played this summer.
I like Anthony.
I know you said name one, but there's so many great ones. There's JT Thor, Benedict Mathburn, Chet Holmgren, Paulo Banchero, Moses Moody, Cam Thomas, Quentin Grimes, Keegan Murray.
Ricky Rubio tonight.
All of those guys have balled out. All of those guys have balled out this summer league.
Okay.
So I couldn't pick one. Just all of those guys have balled out.
Chet Holmgren balled out?
He did all right.
Man, we dismissing this man, Will.
He all right. I don't like him that much. Okay, go ahead, Joseph.
What you got?
Nothing. No shade.
No.
No shade. No, but at best, I respect Chauncey. I like how he tries to make adjustments. I think in time he's going to pull it together. I just hope they don't give up on him soon. They have a little bit there, but not a lot to challenge in the West because the West is revving up to be a very deep conference. Shout out to them for winning the ring because some of these guys don't ever get a chance to go to the NBA. So they got to play for something because, when you dedicate your entire life to something, it is kind of difficult sometimes to just turn away. So when you're playing for something, you should be rewarded for all the hard work if you don't get that call up. But it's not going to translate.
I want you to see me looking at you through your soul right now when you said that crap. But I'm going to get there.
So.
Okay, so I'm going to say that no, it doesn't lead to regular season success for Portland. The only thing that I can sit here and say about Portland is thank you for not hiring Becky. Thank you for not bringing her into that shit show that y'all have going on, and so that she would be unsuccessful and they would have gotten rid of her in the first 3 years like they about to do Chauncey Billups. I appreciate that because I feel like I want her to have success in the NBA, and Portland is not the way. I love Dame Time. Love him. And y'all just heard, I really like Anthony Simmons. I love the development that he's had over the last 2 years. I don't care. He won the dunk contest, and he's been up ever since.
The dunk contest? Go ahead.
I said it. I don't care.
It ain't my turn yet.
Mm-hmm. And I love the development that he's had. I don't think the dunk contest carries any weight, obviously. If it did, Zach LaVine would have a ring.
Blake Griffin would be the best court.
Yeah, no. But I will say, he's not your tallest guy. So for him to come out there and win the dunk contest, I was impressed. And just his development that he's had over the last couple of years, I am impressed. What's up, James? Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, James.
Definitely, like I said, just thank you for not bringing Becky into that mess. Let her get her success over there with Vegas, and we'll see her back in the NBA. That's all I got.
Who's James?
I don't care about the Summer League. He's on Say What, Say It Again.
Oh, I can't see because the NBA Summer League part is showing up. I didn't know what they were saying.
No, these rings are trash. Like, what are we doing, NBA? What are we doing? We giving participation trophies now, Like summer league games don't even matter.
Participation rings.
Now we giving rings out to the people that win the summer league. Like you're okay. You got the best first year and second year. Y'all play your first year and second year played the best. Big whoop.
Let me ask you a question. I got one question for you, Jahan. What's more egregious? Participation rings or the conference MVPs that they're about to try to put out?
Man, I'll take 1,000 conference MVPs over these damn summer league.
Yeah, I
rings.
would too. These summer league
what are we talking
rings
about
are
here?
stupid.
We talking about practice, not a game, not the game I love. Summer league is practice. Yo,
The person that complained about practice didn't win a title. Were the one that embodied practice.
And he MVP
Bryant.
though. He MVP
Kobe-
though.
but-
Don't even
but
go
then
there,
Kobe
Joseph. Hold
Bryant-
up.
Kobe
But
Bryant
no. The
told
reason he. But hold on.
I'm not just messing with him.
Everybody likes to talk about that shit with AI. But the
I'm
reason he
messing
was.
with him.
Oh, I was about to say the reason he sat there and said that is because he missed practice for a funeral. Like we
Oh,
not talking.
I'm
he didn't miss
aware
a
of this.
game. He was
Not
I'm
the
aware
game
of
I
this.
love, not the game I would die for. We talking about
Right.
practice.
I'm aware of the story. Trust and believe. I was just messing
Anyway,
with
we
you.
talking about practice. We talking about practice. This summer league shit is practice. I can't believe they had the audacity, the egregiousness to even give rings out for a glorified practice.
So you saying they should have spent that money on WNBA, right?
Or no, you could have spent it on anything. You could have spent
No,
it
I
on
think
anything.
the WNBA.
You know what? You know what's so disrespectful? Is Kelsey Plum's trophy is less shiny and it's flair
Capri Sun. It's the size of a Capri Sun.
than these dumbass rings that they put out.
Dang,
Hey,
keep going down the curse words. He done said shit, ass. Keep going.
Yo, who thought this was a good idea? Adam Silver, fire them immediately. Like you need new people immediately. Whoever thought this was a good idea.
Getting fired faster than Beyonce got fired.
This is dumber than that tweet I quote tweeted the other day.
What?
This is dumber than that tweet I quote tweeted the other day, comparing Tony Parker to Steph Curry's career. Like, look, it's dumb. The rings are dumb. That's dumb. This is dumb. Adam Silver, fire whoever is on your marketing department because they need new job. This ain't it, Chief. But overall, like Keegan Murray, man. Keegan Murray, I think his game's gonna translate. The boy's a dog. Sacramento, you really got something. Hey, interesting fact: no active NBA player has ever faced Sacramento in the playoffs. Sacramento, you gotta do better. Get in the playoffs this year. Period. Yep. LeBron James is
okay. So they got but I think they got the right coach and they got some decent pieces.
Who's their coach?
It's going to be a while till they make the playoffs.
Who's their right coach? Who's their coach?
They got Mike Brown.
Mike Brown, yeah.
Yeah, they got Mike Brown. But anyhow, hey, Sacramento, please get to the playoffs. The NBA is better when Southern Cal, Northern Cal teams are battling each other for supremacy. Look.
Dang, no active NBA player.
I don't think Chet Holmgren's that guy. He's not that guy, pal.
Not that guy, bud.
Listen, you're not that guy, pal.
I need him to add 5,000 calories.
Well, I say this, man.
10,000 pounds.
His coat.
5,000 calories.
His coat is too much. I wanna like Chet Holmgren and I want him to be successful, but his coat makes you hate him. It's like, dude, like relax.
These games when he had a good first game in the summer league and he put up the laughing emoji, like, bro, that ain't it.
Relax. Like, look, I want you to have a successful career. The comparisons to KD need to stop. Stop this. KD is a different breed and a different dog, and it ain't close. Yes. Just like let the game happen as it happens. If you are great, cool. If you're a bum, cool. Like, who gives a shit?
If you're a bum, cool.
Like, this is practice we're talking about, though. Summer league is practice.
Yeah, summer league.
Yeah, like, look, relax. And that's all I got to say about that.
All right, guys, that does it for the show tonight. Will, Joseph, y'all want to give some shout outs about the projects that y'all have going on and where people can find you?
Yes, I'll go ahead if you don't mind, Mr. Vogel. Basketball extraordinaire. The Gauntlet on Saturdays with Will as one of our honorary lifelong guests with Jay, James, and Dom. Twitter, I believe it's Joe Jenkins with no E. It's E or no E07. Either one, you'll find me. I got the I Have Issue shirt on. Instagram, same deal. You'll see me and my best friend Wendy in a picture. But that's where I am.
So during the season, Monday nights, NBA carousel. Thursday nights here. Saturday nights, the gauntlet, but I may have to pass this week because I'm invited to another live stream. Who knows? Yeah, I'm sorry, Joseph. I'd be cheating.
What you gonna be on?
For
What you
1
gonna
week.
be on?
Right.
Oh, it's just something else. It's not sports related.
Oh, okay.
And then Sunday nights.
I guess we'll let you have a non-sports live.
BS.
Yeah.
He needs to
And
be
then
on our
Sunday nights, I'm on Basketball Bros with my guys, Dom, Jay, and Jacob. And as I tell people, and this includes you guys, if you want to be a guest or you have a suggestion for a topic, please message any of us.
All right,
I've been
I'm
saying
gonna
that for weeks and no one suggested.
I will give you some suggestions.
We have
when
our
the Spurs-
topics this
when
week
the
already.
Spurs were good. Cheers.
Who's the better Bullets teams? Dang, y'all, have fun.
All right, that's the show. Are you ending it or am I ending it? You got it. All right, guys.